Maya Om Namo Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Vasudevaya.
Satya Jnana Sukhatmane.
Satya Jnana Sukhatmane.
Akhandaya Vyamulaya.
Akhandaya Vyamulaya.
Mayine Sarvasakshine.
Mayine Sarvasakshine.
Omkara Sarvavedanam.
Omkara Sarvavedanam.
Sarastattva Prakashakah.
Sarasattva Prakashakah.
Tena Chitta Samadhanam.
Tena Chitta Samadhanam.
Mumukshunam Prakashyate.
Mukshunam Prakashyate.
Asidekam Param Brahma. Nityamuktamanitriyam. Tatsvamaya samaveshat. Bijamavyagratatmakam. Bijamavyagratatmakam. How are you doing? If we meet somebody, this is a general question that we pose to others. How are you doing? After we get the answer, or sometimes we don't mind not getting the answer also, we follow with our second question. What are you doing? Then it starts. The story begins. I am doing this, I am doing that. All that. So the beginning question, generally we keep asking people. Sometimes we ask, but we are not there to listen. What is the answer? Sometimes we ask because we are concerned, sometimes we ask because it is a formality. How are you doing? Generally followed by what are you doing? But in continuation, have you ever tried asking why are you doing? Try for a change. Let us see the answer. Common questions are mechanical questions. Just like that we ask. Next time, you try. How are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing? The first thing will be the person will be surprised. Why are you doing? Why are you doing? Don't bear away. कैसा कर रहे हैं? How are you doing? कैसा है? क्या कर रहे हैं? What are you doing? क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why are you doing? Then, if anyone truly searches for the answer is always our doing is connected with having something. I want to have, having something. Anybody, if you ask, why are you doing whatever you are doing, after how are you doing? Why are you doing? Having, for the sake of having. Having what? Having this, having that, big list of things. Always for the sake of having something. The whole attention, the whole focus is on having something. So, doing loses its prominence. Doing because for having something. Everyone, even a school going child, why are you doing this? For having something. Doing is being done now, having will be done later. The having happens later. So, in the very pursuit itself, in the very seeking itself, there is a gap. There is no cohesiveness. There is something that is not keeping us complete and total. Everyone, why are you doing for having something? Doing is always for the sake of having. That is why duty-mindedness is gone, desire-mindedness is on. Who is doing for the sake of doing whatever they are doing? Always attention is on having, always attention is on something other than doing. Doing because I am doing because there is an opportunity for having something. So whatever they are doing right now, whatever, for the sake of having money. So enjoyment is in having something. I am waiting for having something. Hurry about doing or whatever I am doing, my attention is divided and most of the attention is on having. Is there enjoyment in doing? But having, I am doing, having happens, you know. But the mind that is trained here, not to be in doing, can the doing be done at the optimum level? Doing is not an opportunity for enjoying. Only having is thought of as an opportunity for enjoying. Doing for having, whether attention, name, fame, or money, or profit, or property, whatever it is, if I am doing something now, it is only for having something. Like somebody invests money in election, for what? Everybody knows. Everybody is clear. Having something. Want to serve the people, but inside there is the intention to have something. Having something always. If somebody tries to bring a strict regulation, then there will be a reward and a division and put that fellow down from the power. Why? Because I am not able to have whatever I want to have. Because you are trying to bridge between haves and have-nots. I don't want that to happen, whatever it is. I want to have everything. So doing is not an opportunity for enjoying. Doing has become a boredom, doing has become a drag, doing has become a hurrying, doing has become sometimes worrying. Doing means what I am doing. Okay, doing, having. And even when having comes, the being is not there now for having it totally. Again the mind is running somewhere. The running mind, when it is running, even when the time arises of having, for having, the mind will be running. Again there will be worries. Again there will be some fear of loss. Again there will be something. So, enjoying the beauty, enjoying the work, enjoying what we are doing is not there nowadays. Everybody is running, rushing. See, from the break of the dawn up to the night, busy. Everyone is busy. Everybody is doing something, trying to do something. Always. For what? Having something. Having is for what? Having is for enjoying. Having is for experiencing joy. Is running after things is the only way, or is entertaining desire to have something is the only way for enjoyment? The rishis say, the scriptures say, the Mahatmas say, there is another way, much more greater happiness, greater joy, greater contentment, greater satisfaction, never-ending bliss. All that is available when you start enjoying doing. For enjoying doing, if you are constantly thinking of having something, we can't do. You can't enjoy what we are doing. That is why totally different from from this chase is being. Being. Because being is the source of happiness. Being is the source of security. Being is the source of bliss. Being is the source of peace. Being is tremendous, never-ending, infinite source of all that we seek in chasing the happy, running after the happy. Being. And for being, where is the question of running? For knowing the being, there is no running there. In fact, not only the physical learning, even the mental learning, emotional learning, intellectual learning has to be renounced. In being, there is everything. When we come to understand the beauty of the being, then we will also enjoy the doing. Because the doing becomes complete. When an individual understands this, then there is no energy diverted on craving, desiring, wanting, in turn chasing. In all these things, the energy is not divided. When an individual is not interested in craving, wanting, desiring, then the individual is totally in the moment. Individual enjoys the complete totality of the moment. And when an individual enjoys the complete totality of the moment, that moment is everything. Being there itself is everything. Somebody you see in the Himalayas, on the banks of Ganges, they are just there, being. What are they doing? Just tuning with their being. Because that is the ultimate source of the joy. A sage, a mystic, a saint is a person who has truly let go of the desire or running after desires and experiencing the being, the completeness of the being, the totality of the being from moment to moment. An individual who experiences that reaches the level of Satyam, the truthfulness, the existence, Shivam, the ultimate auspiciousness, and Sundaram, the beauty of blissfulness. When we hold this in our mind, when we understand this in our mind, when we contemplate upon this in our mind, our experience changes. Because whatever we experience in our life, at the body level or at whatever level it is all because of what we hold on to in our mind. Whatever we are holding on in our mind, that alone results as an experience in our day-to-day living. Whatever projections we are holding in our mind, they only become experiences in our day-to-day living. Whatever we experience is the result of what we hold in the mind. And if we want to change experiences, we can change the experiences by changing what we hold in the mind. That is very important. That is why, in order to make our hold strong and thereafterwards we become eligible to strongly hold, the masters have given us a beautiful pointers. What to hold mind. The entire scriptural teaching is based on that. Holding in the mind. What you hold in the mind. Now you are holding so many other things. Because always the mind is in having, desiring, craving, wanting, wishing, chasing, running. That is why they give something else. Hold on to this. Even the holding, whatever we are holding on to, when we change that, automatically the experiences change. It is actually, we set up the way in which we experience things. How we want to experience a thing, we set the way to experience the thing. When we set up the ways in which we experience things, we are called as the masters of situation. Who is a master of situation? not the one who is trying to control somebody, not the one who is trying to possess somebody, dominate somebody, be aggressive upon somebody, play politics for having a hold on somebody, not groupism, not all this. Who is a master of the situation? One who can set his way of experiencing things. That's all. I want to experience things as I like. This is the way I want to experience things. No more being dictated terms by anything else. I want to experience this in this way, that's all. Whatever might be the thing, howsoever it might be, but I want to experience it in this way. How? By changing what we hold on to in the mind. Change that and experience changes. In order to change the experiences, what all we are trying? Trying to meet people, convince people, please people, impress upon people, and do this, do that. So many things. Organize things, change things, settle things, unsettle things. So many things we try to do in this world, in our living. In spite of all that, still experiences are not in our control. Still we feel, we know that experiences are not in our choice. What we experience is not our choice. Only the world dictates our experiences. So here it is very clearly said, if we change what we hold on to in our mind, what we reflect upon, what we contemplate upon, what we meditate upon, then our experience changes. We will come to understand the beauty of the being. The beauty of the being is ultimate. One who experiences that, to remain in beingness is the way to joy. In fact, it is the beautiful opportunity to enjoy. Then the suffering cannot touch the person. Because one who is in being, he is in being. Whether he is doing something or not doing something, he is in being, that's all. Not like a person who is craving, wanting, desiring, chasing, who is always interested in having. That individual cannot be complete in any moment, who is always interested in having. Only the one who is in being can be complete in any moment. So anything can be stopped at any time without any feeling of loss. There is no feeling of loss in the individual. Anything can be stopped at any time because the individual is in the being. Being is totality. Being is completeness. If it is doing, the individual is doing also is from the being, not for having something, because it is the being. Only in the direction from the being he is doing, that's all. The doing is connected with being, not with having. 98% of the people in this world, according to one Mahatma, are always doing something for having. 98%. Only 2% of the people are completely rooted in being. They enjoy being. And for the one and those people who have only enlightenment as their goal, nothing else, only enlightenment, 1 in 10 million. So somebody was asking me the other day, what will happen if everybody aims for realization? See the numbers. 2%, 1 in 10 million. Nothing will happen. Even if it happens, so what? It is a beautiful world of bliss. So, why are we in suffering? We are in suffering because we are always after having, not tuned to doing and not connected with being. That is the reason. No other reason. Whereas our reasons are all superficial reasons. So when we surrender this having to God, and then we will come to discover the truth in ourselves. God reveals the truth. God reveals the being to us. He himself is there, as we have seen yesterday, as the Antaryami, as the witness, as the Vasudeva himself, as the Omkar. He is there inside. And then we will come to experience the states of joyfulness, infinite joyfulness, and never-ending presence of the beauty of the divine being inside. So we have to rethink about our pursuits. Why we are chasing all these things? Is it not for pleasure? Is it not for happiness? Is it not for joy? But millions of times more joy is available by being tuned to the being, which is our inner self, which is not different from the Supreme Self. That is what is being said here. That the inner self is not different from the Supreme Self. There was a boy who was becoming an expert in lying, telling lies. So his family members were trying to bring a change in the boy to mold him. They were each one were trying in different ways. So one day father called him and said, if you can tell me a lie without a second thought, if you can tell me a lie without a second thought, you can lie to me without a second thought, I will give you 50 rupees. The boy immediately said, that's nothing. You said you will give me 100 rupees. Okay? You said you will give me 100 rupees. Because having, the mind is interested in having. So, compromise with doing. Whatever you are lying, what does it matter? Having. The mind is interested in having. So, not lying is not profitable because having. If a person is interested in being, then not lying is more profitable because lying is a split. And then the split will not allow us to focus, concentrate, contemplate, meditate. It will not give us peace of mind. It will not give us tuning with the self. So then the person, no, this is not profitable. Because the person is interested in the inner world, being. There was another person who went to a doctor. And the doctor did a checkup and said, in order to cure your illness, which is a very severe illness, it will cost $1,000. 45 to 50,000 rupees, $1,000. This man said, he was a purchasing agent, not a sales agent, purchasing agent. So, he said, doctor, that is too high, $1,000. But the illness is severe, otherwise you will not survive. Then he said, I have a better deal from the undertaker in the graveyard. Undertaker in the graveyard, I have a better deal from him. He said, if you die, I will do everything for $500. So if you give me at least $500 deal, I will get treated by you. Otherwise, I will give the deal to him. Hare, you will die. It doesn't matter, I will make a right deal. See, even in dying, that fellow is interested in having, but not in being. How people think. A deal with an undertaker, even in the last minute, not with a doctor, if that is also profitable, it should be profit. Having, the mind is always chasing the having, always chasing the having. One little girl went to the mother and said, Mommy, the boy from the neighborhood broke my dolly. The boy from the neighborhood. And the mother asked, how did you do it? I hit him on his head with it. She hits him on the head with it and says he broke it. Doing is not given importance. Honesty levels, sincerity levels, truthful levels in doing, they are not there. And we go on complaining about corruption, this, that. Why? Because the basic thing is, they don't know the worth of the being they are carrying. They be happy. But much more than that, they will be in the being. They are not told, they are not taught. Even though they are taught, they don't have that capacity because the mind is not steady to receive. That is why our great masters show to us the beautiful connection. The connection of doing to being, not doing to having. The whole world is talking about that, doing to having. The masters talk about doing to being because they talk from being where there is no having. They don't want to have anything because they have everything. Everything they have. All the people in the world put together, if their desires are satisfied at the same time, the joy that emanates is not equal to iota of the joy of a person who is enjoying being. The thing is, we don't know the calculations and dynamics of it. Shankaracharya, towards his concluding guidelines in Panchikaranam, tells us about that, connects us to the infinite source of joy that is our being. How to connect to the being? He is asking us to do something here. Through doing, we connect to the being. That doing is the doing which connects us to the being. Then the time becomes our friend. When the time becomes our friend, when we try to become more aware, more conscious, more spiritual, more pious, then the time becomes our friend. Because we are trying to know more about our being. But if we are chasing the habit, then the time becomes our enemy. It wants to seize everything from us. And we are frightened of time because it may end me. I will end in time. It will show my end. It will take away things. Anything can happen to anything. Anything can happen to my position. Anything can happen to me. Anything can happen to my body. Anything can happen to the time is fear. But those who are trying to become more aware, more conscious, more deep-rooted in being, time is friend. It is our choice whether the time has to be a friend or time has to be anything that frightens us. If we are running after having, it will frighten us. Always there will be fear. Hurry, worry, whatever it is, time means a person is being, there is only joy because it is a friend. It is a friend that serves, a friend that comforts, a friend that soothes, a friend that pleases, a friend that gives joy. So that is why Shankaracharya says, Tattvamasi, Brahmahamasmi, Prajnanandam Brahma, Ayamama Brahma, Tattvamasi, Brahmahamasmi, Prajnanandam Brahma, Ayamama Brahma, Ityadi Shrutibhyah Iti Panchikaranam Bhavati Iti Sri Shankaracharya Virachitam Panchikaranam Tattvamasi, all the Mahavakyas, the great Mahavakyas, which can directly lift us from wherever we are and transport us into the dimensions beyond known, into the dimensions unknown, that is the dimensions of divinity. Those beautiful flights, the planes, the rockets that can take us from here to there. Tattvamasi, it is from the Chandogya Upanishad. Tattvamasi, that thou art. Then Brahmahamasmi, I am Brahman, from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Prajnanam Anandam Brahma, consciousness bliss, conscious bliss or consciousness bliss is Brahman. Prajnanam, Ananda. Prajnanam, consciousness, Anandam, bliss. Brahma is Brahman. Aitareya Upanishad. And Ayamatma Brahma. This self, Ayam Atma, this self is Brahman. From the Mandukya Upanishad and as well as Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So then, one Mahatma says, if we hold Mahavakya in mind, it will cure us from all illnesses. The greatest healer, Mahavakya. Because Mahavakya tells us that we are not finite Jiva, we are infinite Ishvara or infinite Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi Mantroyam Sarva Vyadi Vinashaya. The Mahatma told me this. If you chant this Mahamantra, Aham Brahmasmi or any other Mahavakya, whatever you have chanted, Sarva Vyadi Vinashaya. All the illnesses, all the diseases of all levels will be cured. No joke. There are people who have done experiments in 21st century. Meaning these times where we are living, holding in the mind of the greatest truth, how things change, how slowly things change. And then everything that we experience changes if we hold on to the highest truth in the mind. Holding it in the mind. No joke, no fun. This is truth. So, Tattvamasi. That thou art. Tat means consciousness reflected in Maya. One way to understand Tata is consciousness reflected in the Maya. And Tat also means the Bimba, Ishvara of the Jiva, Pratibimba, who is reflected, who is a reflection of consciousness in Avidya. Jiva is the reflection of consciousness in Avidya. Ishvara is the reflection of consciousness in Maya, simple terms. So Tat means, one meaning is reflection of consciousness in Maya. Second thing, Bimba of the Jiva, who is a reflection in Avidya. See, if there is a reflection, Pratibimba, who is the Bimba? The source of that Pratibimba? The source is Ishvara. If we see sun's reflection in a lake, a pond, the source is in the sky. So Ishvara and Jiva, like that. So Tat means reflection of consciousness in Maya, number one. The source of reflection of consciousness in Avidya. The source of Jiva. Jiva is a reflection, the source. Two things, Tat means. Then Tvam means, already saw consciousness reflected in Avidya. One meaning. Consciousness reflected in the effects of Avidya. Effects of Avidya are mind, intellect, memory, ego. Consciousness reflected in the mind or Antakarana or internal organ is Jiva. You and I are referring to ourselves as Jiva. I have an ego, you have an ego. We have memory, we have mind, we have intellect. So I am. So this itself is the Jiva. Reflection of consciousness in the Antakarana, mind, intellect, memory, ego, equipment, or any one of their mind. So then, Asi means Tat Tvam Asi. Asi means that which gives the knowledge of Abheda, non-difference between the two. The Ekakriti of both, the oneness of both, or non-difference of both, is given out by the word Asi. So, when we say Tattvam Asi, what we have to understand here is Tvama means the Jiva, not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, not the memory, not the ego, not even that reflection, but the inner self. The inner self. The one who is inside, the inner self. And the inner self is not different from Tata. Tata, the Brahman, the Supreme Self. So it is said, the Visheshana Amsa is renounced in the statement and Visheshya Amsa is accepted. Visheshana means a word which particularizes, qualifies or defines another. A word which particularizes, qualifies or defines another is called as Visheshana. And Visheshya means the word qualified or limited by an adjective, or the object to be defined or particularized by another word. In simple terms, Vachyartha, the word meaning is to be renounced. Lakshartha, the ultimate real true meaning is to be taken out. Vachyartha is from you. The Lakshartha is the inner self. Vachyartha is the Tat. And then the Lakshartha is ultimately Brahman alone. So that has to be understood. And then this has to be contemplated upon. So when Master says this, Upadesha Vakya, thou art that. Thou, not the body, not the mind, not the life, not the memory, not the ego, thou, the inner self, are that, the Supreme Brahman. The inner self is the Supreme Self. Thou art that, thou art that. Now I am thinking I am the body, but not the body. Now I am thinking I am the mind, but not the mind. Now I am thinking the one who is stuck up in the mind and ego. No, not that. What are you? Thou art that. I am the infinite being. I am not the finite being, I am the infinite being. If we can hold on to this, according to a great Mahatma, Sarva Jani Vinashya. All illnesses at all levels will be removed, because he is going to transcend himself from all the limitations into the highest level of realization. Even before that, the states which the individual undergoes are those states where there is continuous joy, continuous inner pleasure, continuous peacefulness. And then he lands up in the absolute state of realization. So this contemplation is enough. This contemplation itself will take us. But how long we have to do? That depends upon the impurity that you have accumulated inside. All that dark and dust and then all that has to cleanse and whenever we go out for a tour for a few days, when we come back, so much will be there to clean in the house. Now we are on tour since eternity. Always going outside, having, going outside, having. Who is taking care of inner cleaning? Always having outside. No inner cleaning. So once you start cleaning, wow, right? It takes, you don't know. But the best cleaning, like vacuum cleaner, this is a cleaner. You don't need to go on touching everything. Blower and cleaner. It blows also, vacuum sucks also. Both. It blows away the dark and sucks away all impossible. That's it, just sticking on. Finished. That is the beauty. So then, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Here, Aham means Jiva. Brahma is Brahman. Asmi is that which tells about oneness. Aham Brahmasmi. Then, Prajnanam Anandam Brahma. Consciousness, bliss is Brahman. Here, Prajnana is connected with Jiva. Brahma is Brahman, and through Samanadikaranya, the process by which the oneness is established. Then I am Atma Brahma. This self is Brahman. Here I am means Idam. This means Jiva. Then Brahma is the God or Brahman. Then I am Atma Brahma. So this Jiva is not different from Brahman. This Jiva is Brahman. This way, when we give up Vachyartha, the word meaning, and get into the Lakshartha, the hidden inner real true ultimate meaning, then what happens here is through Jahar Ajahar Lakshana or Bhagatyaga Lakshana procedure, which is there in the Vedanta, and through that we will come to identify completely with that supreme reality. Somebody has seen someone somewhere at some time in the past. And now he sees that individual again. Hey, he is that Devadatta. He is that Devadatta. Meaning this is that. So when we are able to understand that clearly, we have to understand the inner meaning of it and not the word meaning. So that way, we hear the beautiful verse, beautiful Mahavakyas have pointed out to lift us, who is always rooted in the idea, I am the body, I am limited to the body, and I am this mind, I am the ego, I am the intellect. All this always in that level, always in that level, always in fear, pride, rage, that. Only when we contemplate upon the truth that I am not these limited things that are bound by time, I am that which is infinite. Then we will go into a state which is beyond all these limitations. A teacher in the class was trying to tell the students about the dangers of kissing animals and birds. Nowadays people are worried. No dangers of kissing animals and birds because viruses are there. Something flu, virus, something else may come. So don't do these things, be careful. And our teacher was teaching students to maintain health and all, not to contact viruses. And then teacher asked the student, now tell me an example of the danger of what I have told you now. Danger of kissing animals. Then one boy got up and said, man, my aunt Kelly kissed the dog. And what happened after the teacher? The dog died. Now it is transferring virus to who? The idea here is when we surround ourselves with the ideas that we are limited, that we are confined, that we are bound, that we have no power, that we are powerless, that we are weak, our experiences will be like that. If we have a different thought flow, contemplative thought flow in the mind, reminding ourselves of our higher nature, the infinite power, the infinite being beyond all the limitations, we will have that as our experience. The choice is totally ours. It depends upon us what we experience. One teacher asked the student, tell me about the most powerful water source in the world. The most powerful water source in the world. The student said, my mother's tears. The moment my mother is in tears, everything goes away. Most powerful. Whatever we cannot have by smiling and laughing, we will try to have by crying, weeping, lamenting. Different ways of controlling for the sake of gaining what we want. Sometimes that might be genuine. But what I want to say is, when we hold on to the truth which is told in scriptures as a contemplation in our mind, all our experiences undergo a total change, complete change. And then, when we hold on to these things completely, it is said so beautifully about the Savikalpa Samadhi, which is also called as Samprajnata Samadhi, and then Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which is called as Asamprajnata Samadhi, the higher states of in the journey of self-realization. Brahmakara Manovritti, Brahmakara Manovritti, Pravahoham Krutim Vina. Exists in a given moment is dependent upon the vritti, mental thought, vritti, brahmakara manovritti. Mental thought or vritti, when it flows without the ego, pravaho aham kritim vina, when it flows without the ego, in the form of Brahman, brahmakara manovritti, pravaho aham kritim vina. When the thought in the mind, which is in the form of Brahman, flows without the ego, without the doer, without the claimer, without the limited notion who is claiming everything, without the ego, which is surrender at the feet of the God, without the doer ego there, then samprajnata samadhisya. This is called as samprajnata samadhi. That is called as samprajnata samadhi or savikalpa samadhi. And jnanabhyasa prakarshataha. This increases with the practice of meditation. How it increases? Meditation. With the practice of meditation, we go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into savikalpa samadhi. So simple. If anybody says, I am in samadhi, and then I am aiming for samadhi, and I have already attained samadhi, to understand what samadhi is. Simple. Mental thought, when it flows without the ego, in the form of Brahman. That is savikalpa samadhi. Continuously. When it flows. The more we do meditation, the more. So what is Brahmakara vritti? Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanamanandam Brahma, Brahmahammasmi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Tattvamasi. All this. Or yesterday we have seen Vasudevo Hamomiti. So these thoughts, when they flow continuously, our body changes, molecules change, atoms change, the cells change, everything undergoes a change. Every vibration changes in our body. The neurons change. Everything undergoes a change. Because this is totally different. This contemplation is completely different. That is what we have to do. And then when we do more and more meditation, manaso vritti shunyasya, manaso vritti shunyasya, brahmakarataya stitihi, yasam prajnata namasau, yasam prajnata namasau, samadhirabhidiyate. When the mind is without any vrittis, manaso vritti shunyasya. When the mind is without any vrittis, brahmakaraya titihi, and is abiding in, and is dwelling in the form of brahmakara. The mind is dwelling in the form of brahmakara. There are no vrittis, without any vrittis, without any prapanchaka vritti, without any other vritti. Mind is without any other vrittis, and it is dwelling in, abiding in the form of brahmakara. Yasam prajnata namasau samadhirabhidiyate. It is called asamprajnata samadhi. It is called as nirvikalpa samadhi. ब्रह्म के आकार के रूप में अवस्थित मन, ब्रह्म के आकार के रूप में, in the form of Brahman, the mind that is dwelling in, avasthita, abiding in Brahman. So that is nirvikalpa samadhi. And another way to understand this is, when the vritti is absorbed and engrossed into his form, God's form, Vasudeva's form, Krishna's form, Paramashiva's form, and the essence of Vasudeva, Krishna and Paramashiva, that is Brahman's form. When the vritti is absorbed and engrossed into his form of Brahman, vritti is engrossed. absorbed into his form. Always his form is there. Where is the thought and the mind? Absorbed in him. Engrossed in him. As now we are engrossed in worldly pursuit, engrossed in our maddening desires, engrossed in our sensory pleasures, engrossed in TV programs, engrossed in so many other things, engrossed in, absorbed in. You watch a TV program and get absorbed into it. Like that, this thought is absorbed in Brahman. Brahmakara. Now Vishayakara, then Brahmakara, the form of Brahman. And such a Vrittimaya Chitta is abiding in the form of essential nature of Brahman. Such a Vrittimaya Chitta. Which Vrittimaya, what a Vrittimaya Chitta? Where the Vritti is in the absorbed in Brahman. Such a Vrittimaya mind, such a mind of having such thoughts which are absorbed in Brahman, when it is abiding in the essential nature of Brahman, aware of the essential nature of the Brahman, understand the essential nature of the Brahman, knowledgeable of the essential nature of the Brahman, then that is called Asampragnata Samadhi or Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And this is the final destination where we become one with the source which created the whole world. Om Satchabdam Amitya Sakalam Brahma Brahmano Avyaktam. From there it started, no? We become one with that. Completely with that. Merged with that. So, we let go of the inferior levels of existence, attain the superior levels, and get into the most divine levels of the existence. Two people were discussing. One man said, animals are far superior than human beings. How do you say that? Then that man had his logic. He said, see, when 10 horses are running in a race, horse race, 10 horses are running in a race, 1 lakh people watch it. 1 lakh people watch it when 10 horses are running. When 10 human beings are running, is there 1 horse to watch it? Is there 1 horse interested in human being running? No. So this tells animals are far superior than human beings, than people. Whatever it is, divine state is the superior most of all states in this world, in this creation, in this universe. So to get into that, the easy methods of getting into that are given out by Sri Shankaracharya and various other masters, and now Shankaracharya also. Chidatmani vilinam Chidatmani vilinam chet Chidatmani vilinam chet Tat chittam naiva chalaye Tat chittam naiva chalaye Purna bodhatmana sita Purna bodhatmana sita Purnachala 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 Samudravad Purna Achala Samudravad. The meaning here is Chet Chittam Vilinam, meaning the contemplating is merged in Chidatmani Vilinam Chet. Tat Chittam Naiva Charya. Chet Chittam Vilinam Chidatmani. The contemplating mind is merged in the Chidatma, pure consciousness. The Atma which is pure consciousness. Then Tat Na Eva Charayet. That should not be disturbed afterwards. Then Asit Purnamoda Atmana. One should remain as that infinite consciousness. Once it is merged in the pure consciousness, it should not be moved, it should not be disturbed, it should no more be agitated, and one should remain as the Purna Bodha Atmana, that infinite consciousness. Like Purna Achala Samudravat, the whole ocean the motionless ocean, the all-full motionless ocean, how it remains in its depths where there is no motion, but the ocean remains motionless, like that Purna Achala Samudravata, an individual must remain like that in Brahman. So that is the state which is Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where there is no question of any movement of any kind. Why there is no movement of any kind? Why do we move to have? All the ultimate having is there in that being. He is able to infinitely, continuously be in that state of peace and joy. So where is the question of moving anywhere? Where is the question of agitating the mind? Absolutely absorbed into that infinite Satchidananda Swarupa. Then it is advised very beautifully by Shankaracharya. This has to be continued. How? Constant practice is very important. Continuous, constant practice of Nirvikalpa Samadhi gradually culminates in self-realization. Sureshwara clearly is of the opinion Nirvikalpa Samadhi is not self-realization. Nirvikalpa Samadhi continuously practicing Nirvikalpa Samadhi gradually culminates in ultimate self-realization. How? What all things are necessary? Very nicely presented here. Evam samahito yogi. Evam samahito yogi. Shraddha bhakti samanvitaha. After self-knowledge, evam yogi, thus practicing a yogi, having attained perfect absorption. Samahita means having attained perfect absorption into the divine being which is in oneself, as inner self. The yogi who has attained perfect absorption into oneself, evam yogi samahita, Shraddha Bhakti Samanvitaha. Now here where is Shraddha Bhakti coming into play? That is very important. Still, the devotion to God and trust in the scriptures told by the Guru, in turn given out by Paramatma only, is very necessary. Even when there, because still we have to gain that ultimate self-realization. Shraddha Bhakti, starting stage also Shraddha Bhakti. Penultimate stage also Shraddha. That is very important. Believing in the presence of God who guides us into the absolute self-realization is ultimately important. Only then we can get it. So, Shraddha Bhakti Samanvitaha, meaning endowed with faith and devotion. Jitendriyo Jitakrodaha. Jitendriya Jitakrodaha. Having overcome senses and anger. Jitakrodaha also. Senses and anger. Pashyed Atmanam Advayam. Pashyed Atmanam Advayam. Perceives Atman. One without a second. Perceives the Atman, meaning non-dual Atman. Advayam Atman. He perceives the Atman. Advayam Atman. There was a great Mahapurusha in his sadhaka days. This is again from this century only, just a few decades ago. So he was in his initial stages of his sadhana. So his guru, in the initial stages of his sadhana, the guru who was in Himalayas, he went and met him, the great guru of Himalayas. then got trained by him in various things, and he also introduced him to various other Mahatmas. But the Guru told him, unless you consistently do some sadhana, you can't come to a level where you can easily absorb things and then take a higher flight. You need to do consistently some sadhana. He advised, do Gayatri Japa 24 lakh times. 24 lakh, Akshara Laksha they call it as. 24 lakhs. Gayatri Japa, sitting on the banks of river Ganges. 24 lakhs of Gayatri Japa. Yeah, he was a young sannyasi. So, the Guru asked him to do. Just go and sit there on the banks and then continues to do it. I will be guiding you. It still doesn't matter for the great masters. They can know what happens where. That is the beauty of our sages who are in the great mighty Himalayas, the most divine place in the whole universe. So, said, continue to do it. But remember, don't at all give importance to the vritti of the world. Vritti of the world, vritti of the worldly people. Don't give importance to anything. Just focus on this, sitting on the banks of the river, and then just do it, and then just continuously do it and do it and do it and do it. That's all is your goal. Complete 24 lakhs of japa. Don't bother about anything. Because in between he has to get up, go, eat, do other daily routine and all that. Do it, but sit. Do it, but sit. That's all is your sadhana. So he started doing. Then people slowly the word passes by, and then by word of mouth, that some young sannyasi, very smart, nice, and he's sitting there and he's constantly doing this. This japa, constantly tapasya is doing. So people started coming to him and then looking at him and then praising him. What a nishtha, what a steadiness, what a concentration, what an absorption, what a tejas. And then all the thoughts were dumping into his mind. He was listening to them. What Guru told, don't give importance to the world or the vritti of the world or the vritti of the worldly people. Forget about that. That is not your goal. That is not your destination. That is not your aim. Your aim is 24 lakhs of Gayatri. And then they're praising. And then some people came and said, this is only for minting money at a later stage. They will just act like this. Afterwards, they will catch hold of a rich person and then start squeezing money from them. Or they want to satisfy their desires. This is an easy way to satisfy. So they are doing like this. These thoughts also are dumped in the world. Kuch bhi bol sakta, kya bhi kar sakta. So anything they can do, whatever they want to say, they will tell. So again, these thoughts are falling into his mind. But he remembered, Guru said, don't give importance to worldly thing or the vritti of the worldly people. Forget about it. Your job is something. Do it. Then afterwards, some pandits came. Seeing that so many people are going to see him, constantly doing this. Pandits came and then started challenging him. Come on, debate. Come on, logical argument. Come on, Vada. Come on, Shastra Vada. Come on, let us see. Come on, who is great? Come on, whether we will test whether you know. So going on challenging, going on provoking. But whenever he got up in between, he said, I am not interested. I am not interested in your any argument. I am not that type. You do whatever you want to do with other people. I am doing my sadhana. Please do. But they didn't listen. Come on, Chane. Come on, this is all pretension. This is all superficial. Come on, you should know whether you know something. Went on. What happened to him suddenly one day? Constantly this going on. He got up from the seat, got hold of that pandit, got hold of that person who was constantly asking him, shoot him like this. I told you I am not interested in this argument. You will go out or I shall push you up into Ganges. Get out of here. And he went out. Sometimes, that has to be told probably to people who know what to do. Some people don't listen till then. When he said that, within few hours, one person of that place where he was doing tapas brings a telegram from his guru. My dear Shishya, you have reacted. My dear Shishya, you have reacted. What did I tell you? Simple telegram, my dear Shishya, you have reacted. You have lost the power of tapas. Start from beginning once again. How many lakhs he did, we don't know. 10 lakhs he did or 15 lakhs he did. Start from beginning. Start from beginning once again. How the Guru knows? Guru is all pervading, one with all pervading Brahman. Vasudevoham Guru. So the master who is become one with Brahman is guiding himself to reach that stage, to lift him up to that stage. Let us start from the beginning. Be careful at least this time. This time, again Sankalpa, again prepared himself. Again started, went on, lakhs after lakhs, lakhs after lakhs, lakhs after lakhs. Maybe 20 lakhs he covered, who knows? Covered. Then what happened at that time? He was having one person who was bringing him some milk. Something he was bringing him to eat, something in the daytime. Because he used to take only that, nothing else. Some fruit or something, that's all. So he used to get it. So at the night time, sometimes he used to feel hungry because of constant, continuously used to do that. So that fellow was not coming in the night. He was coming only in the daytime. Night time he had his own family and all. At night time, at midnight, one old man started coming to him. Old man. And started coming to him. And then once whenever he is sitting for some relief in between, he used to ask him, how are you? Then he used to give him some milk. And one day he said, if I have milk, it will be nice. So he brought him milk. And then, what else he want? He used to like jalebis. That person liked jalebis in our Purvasha. So I said, I want a jalebi. He brought jalebi. Midnight he brought jalebi. I am not telling cock and bull stories, all recorded incidents. So I brought jalebi at midnight. So then brought jalebi, brought milk at midnight. And he took, and then he continued his again sadhana. And then every day he used to meet that being at night. Every day at night time, midnight, he comes, brings jalebi, brings milk. He eats and then does sadhana. And in the daytime, already he is eating very less. And daytime, the amount that he is eating became much lesser. Maybe half or even lesser. That the day sevak noticed. The sevak was coming in the daytime noticed. And said, Hare, you are hardly eating anything. What is happening to you? So then he said, what happened? Why are you not eating? How you will survive if you don't? He said, night time, another old man is coming and giving to me. Who is that man? Find out his address. So night time he came and he asked him, tell me your address. He said, why you want all that? You do it, do your sadhana, I am doing my sadhana. No, I want your address. So he gave his address. Then in the daytime he came to that day seva. The day seva comes back and tells after inquiry, this man whose address you have given was living 90 years ago in the same place. 90 years ago he was living. He is no more living. Don't tell me stories. He is no more living. Then this sadhaka felt well inconvenient. I am telling stories. He is really coming. Then, okay, I will finalize this issue. Night time that man came again. And said, this man asked the sadhaka asked, tell me who you are really. Tell me who you are. That man said, you do your sadhana. I am doing my sadhana, my service. I am being told by great masters to serve you. Because they are concerned of you at night time, because you are constantly doing this sadhana, they are concerned of you that you need certain things for the sake of your energy. So that's why they asked me to do this and doing. Why you want further inquiry to do this? And this person, Kamandalu was there, he took some water in the Kamandalu and said, if you don't tell me who you are, I will show you what it is. Then he didn't speak. He chanted something and then threw that water on that person. The person vanished. Next day morning telegram comes. My dear Shishya, you have reacted. Start from beginning. Krodha can take over any time, my dear. Indriyas can take over any time, my dear friends. Any time. That is why at this stage, Shankaracharya brings in this. Jitendriyo jitam krodaha. Jitendriyaha. Shraddha, devotion, trust, Shraddha, trust, faith, trust, bhakti, devotion. See, two people were doing sadhana, practice. Two people. In the same locality, two people were doing sadhana. So, they were doing intense sadhana. One day says Narada visited them. Narada gets all things in his 3G, 4G mobile he carries. He has everything. Because his palm itself is 3G, 4G, 5G, whatever G is. So then, Narada visited them. And then, both of them asked the same question to Narada. One man said, please inquire from Bhagavan Vishnu when I am going to attain self-realization. When I am going to attain his darshan, when I can get his darshan. Second person also said, please inquire from Vishnu Bhagavan when I can get his darshan. So Narada went because he has got interloka visa. So he went, a permanent visa. So he went and came back. After some time he came back. When he came back, he went to the first person and then he asked him, what did Bhagavan say? He said, Bhagavan said, right now he is busy in sending 1,000 elephants through the eye of a needle. 1,000 elephants through the eye of a needle. Bhagavan Vishnu told me that he is busy in sending 1,000 elephants through the eye of a needle. After he completes the job, he said, he will tell about it. He will give you darshan. This man said, Bhagavan, who can create worlds by the wink of his eye, by the tap of his finger, by the click of his thought, he can do anything. He can make elephants go through the eye of a needle. What is it? He is Bhagavan. He can do anything. Kartum, Makartum, Anada Kartum, anything he can do. This way, that way, neither he can do. Okay, thank you Narada, that Bhagavan after completing the job will come and do the darshan. Then he went to second person and he told the same thing. Bhagavan is busy, he is trying to send 1,000 elephants to the eye of a needle. That fellow says, what? The elephant to the eye of a needle? Elephant? What is the Vishnu thing? Elephant goes to the eye of a needle? On what person I am doing all the while tapas? And you are telling me this information. And you scolded Narada. And he is that and you are his assistant. And I needle to the needle. Elephant go. Not 1,000 elephants. He got up and then left. Shraddha Bhakti Samanvitaha. Human intelligence is the measure to understand God's power. Our intellect, what level it is? What can it understand the power of the God? There is Shraddha, there is Bhakti. There is no Shraddha, there is no Bhakti. That is why Sureshwara said this is Shraddha Bhakti Samanvitaha. If the scriptures have said, the Shankaracharya has said, accept it, trust it, you will certainly get it. You need to have any doubt. Even in those stages, another person who has done a lot of research on this, even in the higher stages, there are certain distracting beings whose only job is to distract. Even at that penultimate stage, they will just give some other wrong thoughts, distract, and then take the fellow away from self-realization. There are certain beings in this creation specifically on that job. Last step to testing. And that fall is a tremendous fall. You know, sometimes in snake and ladder, you see, snake and ladder game the people play. Actually, it is a very divine game from at a very higher level of consciousness. People play snake and ladder, you know. They go up to 99. At 99, there is a big serpent. Come to somewhere in 7 or 4 or 5 degree from there. And sometimes there are ladders, they will go. But that person who can be 98 and then not fall there, steady reaches somewhere. Understand this? Even in the last stage also, people can come. That does anything here also. See, there was one person who was suffering from stomachache, severe stomachache. So he tried so many medicines, but in vain. So he went to a scholarly Krishna Bhakta. He was a scholarly Krishna Bhakta, and then he went and told him, suffering from that, do something. He tried to tell him from his scholarliness, it is all prarabdha, it is all bad karma, negative karma, positive karma, I want to taste that. Okay, I will also present the case to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So he presented case to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And then said, Bhagavan, what all karmas he did, so he is having all that. So please listen. But days passed by, weeks passed by, nothing happened. Stomach never reduced. But slowly this man who was suffering from stomach heard that there was an old woman, like some farmer-like woman, some village farmer-like woman, in the same place. She also was a Krishna Bhakta. So he went to her, and she said, okay, Bhagavan takes care of everything. I am only a representative of Bhagavan. Bhagavan alone works, Bhagavan alone listens, Bhagavan alone decides. So she said, okay, I will put it in prayer to Bhagavan. Next day it is gone. Stomachache is gone. And this man comes and tells the scholarly Bhakta, so many days I came to you, nothing happened. One day I have finished. Stomachache gone. And this man is little disturbed. Why is Sri Krishna didn't do this? Then he went on doing Sri Krishna japa, upasana. Then it is said Sri Krishna appeared to him in the vision and said, then he asked, why you queued there, why you did not queue here? Bhagavan Sri Krishna said very clearly to him, see, you believe prarabdha is powerful than Krishna. You said prarabdha, that is why it is there. He is done something, prarabdha, that is why he is suffering, you bless him. So you believe prarabdha is powerful than Krishna. But the old woman believed Krishna is powerful than prarabdha. She said, I am not asking for myself, Bhagavan. You can do anything. You are Sarva Shaktiman. Everything is your creation. Everything is your manifestation. Everything appears in you. So nothing has more power than you. You are the most powerful. You can, the ignorant person, whatever he might have done, you have the power to remove. You have the power to soothe him. You have the power to relieve him. You have the power to remove the disease. You have the power to give him his health back. Oh Bhagavan, do something for him. Bhagavan, he is your son. Bhagavan, do something. So she prayed. And since her task is, Bhagavan is powerful than prarabdha. Because of this man's scholarliness, prarabdha is powerful than Bhagavan. So what happened? Something went wrong. So the idea here is Shraddha Bhakti Samanvita. Shraddha and Bhakti in these stages also are very important. So then it is said that one has to move away from the world because the world is in the beginning, in the middle, in the end. He is certainly going to give sorrow because Prapanchakara Vritti, Krishayakara Vritti always gives sorrows and not the joy. So Shankaracharya asked us to move away from that. And then he says, complete contentment, perfect satisfaction is experienced by the person. Complete contentment and perfect satisfaction is experienced by this person who sees God everywhere, nothing but God. What is this? Yah pasye sarvagam shantam anandatmanam advayam natena kinchidaptavyam jnatavyam vavasishyate. One who sees Yah pasye sarvagam anandatmanam. One who sees the all-pervading, blissful Atma, all-pervading, blissful Atma, which is Shantam, which is of the nature of peace, Advayam, which is non-dual, one without a second. Tena na kinchit avasishyate, aptam va gnatavyam. Aptavyam va gnatavyam. By him, nothing more remains to be attained, nothing more remains to be known. Nothing more needs to be attained because he has attained the highest of all attainments. Nothing more remains to be known. He knows Brahman, by knowing which everything else is known. So nothing more remains to be known, nothing more remains to be attained. By whom? Who sees the Ananda Atma, Advaya Atma, Shanta Atma everywhere. And such a person is a Jivan Mukta. So that Jivan Mukta, even though he sees the world, he doesn't see the world, but he sees. When he perceives the world, he perceives only the nature of the world, the true nature of the world, that is Bhagavan. He sees only substratum when he sees the illusory appearances.
So that Jivan Mukta is ever conscious of the Atma that runs through all. That wise man, that Jivan Mukta, never accepts the world as a reality. In that Jivan Mukta, there is no avidya avarana. Avarana is gone because he has experienced that he is not different from Brahman. But still, Maya Shakti is still on in the form of Prarabdha. The Prarabdha is still lingering. So the body is still there till the exhaustion of Prarabdha. So the appearance of forms is still there for him. But there is no ignorance about his true nature. He has attained the true nature, but the Prarabdha is still lingering. So that Jivan Mukta has to become a Videha Mukta to become completely free. Sarvada Mukta Evasya Gnata Tattvaha Kumanasav. One who has known the truth is always free, is continuously completely free. It is said here that such a Jivan Mukta will become completely free. When that Prarabdha also is finished, here it is said in the scripture very beautifully. शास्त्रेण नश्येत् परमार्थरूपं कार्यक्षमं नश्यति चापरोक्षात् प्रारब्धनाशात् प्रतिभासनाशात् एवं त्रिधा नश्यति चात्ममाया एवं त्रिधा नश्यति चात्ममाया. Maya is destroyed by these three ways. In three ways Maya is destroyed. शास्त्रेण नश्येत् परमार्थरूपं शास्त्रेण नश्येत् परमार्थरूपं. The notion that Maya is ultimate, Maya is greatest, Maya is ultimately powerful, Maya is the powerful, the notion is gone. The individual knows Brahman is more powerful than Maya. How? शास्त्रेण नश्येत् परमार्थरूपं. This notion that Maya is ultimate gone by Shastra Jnana, through Shastra. Karyakshamam nashyati chaparoksha. There is transactional power for Maya, transactional force, transactional capacity, transactional strength. We see the power of Maya in our transactions. The power, the strength, the capacity. The transactional capacity for Maya, of Maya, is eradicated. How? Karyakshamam nashyati chaparoksha. Through realization of Brahman, Aparoksha Jnana, through realization of Brahman is not different from him. Aparoksha Jnana, the transcendental capacity, power, force, strength of Vyavaharika Samadhya of Maya is gone. Then, Prarabdha Nashat, Pratibhasa Nashat, the appearance that is there. For a Jivan Mukta also, still the appearance of forms is there. Still the body appears as a form. Once the Prarabdha is gone, he attains Videha Mukti. So that Maya also is gone. How? Prarabdha Nashat, Pratibhasa Nashat. That illusion appearing of body also is gone. Once the Prarabdha is gone. Evam Tridha Nashyati Chatma Maya. Evam Tridha Nashyati Chatma Maya. This way the Atma Maya, Maya of Atman, gets destroyed in three ways. The Paramartha Rupa, Vyavaharika Rupa, Pratibhasika Rupa, all are gone. Then Sureshwara says, Avidya Timiratitam Sarvabhasa Vivarjitam Anandamamalam Shuddham Manovachamagocharam Vachyavachaka Nirmuktam Heyopadeya Varjitam Prajnanaganamanandam Vaishnavam Padamashtude. Please repeat after me. Avidya Timiratitam Sarvabhasa Vivarjitam Anandamamalam Shuddham Manovachamagocharam Vachyavachaka Nirmuktam Heyopadeya Varjitam Prajnanaganamanandam Vaishnavam Padamashtude Vaishnavam Padamashtude Ashnute Padam Vaishnava. Such a person attains the Vaishnava Pada. Vaishnava Pada, the state of all pervading Brahman. Vishnu is all pervading Brahman. Such a Vaishnava pada attains the status of Vishnu, which is avidya vimiragilitam, free from the darkness of nescience, darkness of ignorance. Sarva bhasa vivarjitam, which is divested of all appearances. No appearances are there. And which is Anandam Amalam Shuddham, Anandam bliss, Shuddham pure, Amalam stainless, which is stainless pure bliss. Mano Vacha Magocharam, which is beyond mind and beyond speech. Vachya Vachaka Nirmuktam, it is above these distinctions of name and named. Heyo Padeya Vivarchitam, neither to be shunned nor to be accepted. Why? Because there is nothing other than Atma. When there is nothing other than Atma, only Atma, where is the question of shunning anything or accepting anything? If there is anything else other than Atma, shunning acceptance comes. Nothing else is there. Prajnanaganamānandam. This is the self-luminous conscious bliss. Self-luminous conscious bliss is experienced by the person and he attains the padam of Vishnu. Vaishnavam padamashnuté. That Vaishnava pada he attains. Idam prakaranam yadna gnatavyam bhagavattamaihi amanitvadiniyam yaihi guru bhakti prasadataha. Sureshwara says the scripture must be properly understood under the pen of God realization with the due care after acquiring the qualities like humility, etc., which are told in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. Amanitvam, Adamitvam, Ahimsa, Kshamadharmikam, Acharya-Upachanam, Saucham, there are values. All the values are to be practiced and then by the grace, evoking the grace of teachers through devotional service, Guru Bhakti Prasadataha, once you attain the ultimate state. And finally, he says, Imam Vidyam Prayatnena Yogi Sandhyasu Sarvada. Possessing excellent understanding after doing Sravana, Manana, contemplation and meditation, possessing excellent state of meditation and meditative understanding, Iha Amudra Bhoga Anasaktatihi, and having detachment from pleasures here and for the pleasures of other lokas hereafter, Samabhyase must practice thoroughly Imam Vidyam, this science, Prayatnena, with a determined effort, Sandhyasu Sarvada, during twilights, Sarvada, all is like Udaya Sandhya, Sayu Sandhya, and various Sandhyas. Sureshwaracharya is of the opinion, the whole scripture has to be read during Sandhya time with contemplative meditation and understanding. If it is done, certainly that person will attain the absolute reality. Iti Srimad Sureshwaracharya Virachitam Panchikaranam Sampurnam. Here ends the Vartika composed by Sri Sureshwaracharya on Panchikaranam of Sri Adi Shankara. So we have seen the Panchikaranam of Adi Shankara and the Vartika of Sureshwara and few other things of other Mahatmas, and it is said here some texts add this sloka of Sureshwara Vartika. Raga Dveshadi Rahitam Swatmanam Chintayet Sada Sa Eva Jivan Muktova Na Punarbhava Sambhava. Many people have the thought, I don't want Punarjanma, I don't want rebirth, I don't want to come down into the level of body, I don't want this birth of change. People want that, I don't want this, no more birth for me. Sureshwaracharya says, one who is without likes and dislikes. Raga Dveshadi Rahitam Swatmanam Chintayet Sada, and always contemplates upon, always meditates upon the inner self. Sa eva jivan muktova na punarbhava sambhava. Such person is there is no rebirth for such a person. So, the primary object of Panchikaranam of Sri Adi Shankara by means of Pranava Om is actual realization of the basic unity underlying the macrocosmic and the microcosmic manifestation of life. The secondary object of Panchikaranam of Adi Shankara is to establish a process of fusion of the gross, subtle and causal conditions of the finite Jiva with the gross, subtle and causal conditions of the infinite Ishvara. So this fusion and ultimate realization. Pranava or Omkara is the means for comprehending both Saguna Brahma and the Nirguna Brahma. And no Vedantic student can experience the basic identity unless and until he feels the harmony of his finite conditions with those of Supreme Being. So through Pranava, as directed by Adi Shankaracharya and Sureshwaracharya, great masters, may we attain that state of blissful beatitude of non-dual Brahman and constantly experience the ultimate healing where no question of any other thing itself is not there. So only Brahmika, joy. So the healing, carry home this word today, contemplative thought of ultimate sentences of scriptures, they will give us ultimate healing, Mahavakyas, which tell us about oneness of inner self with Supreme Self. All these points, important points will be available to you as the Yajna. I thank each one of you individually for making this possible, that the great age-old text of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, along with the great commentaries of the great masters, we could take it here for these 8 days. And I sincerely thank you for providing us this opportunity to have these sessions, this contemplation, reflection, listening, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana sessions here. So let us recognize this opportunity, and I sincerely thank you. Without you, this would not have happened. I also thank the Chinmaya Mission, Seva Trust and all other Sevaks who are directly and indirectly responsible in making this possible. So all of them. I invoke Bhagavan's blessings, the great masters, Adi Shankaracharya, Sureshwaracharya and Guru Parampara's blessings, Bhagavan Parmeshwara, Vasudeva, Bhagavan Vishnu's blessings upon all of us to keep us on the path of virtue, courage and wisdom, and keep us steadfast on our path. Give us success, give us health, and give us continuous healing, and give us the divine joy. I also offer prostrations at the feet of the great masters, Adi Shankaracharya, Sureshwaracharya, and all others, and Swami Chidatmanandha Maharaj, Sapoji Maharaj, and all great Guru Parampara and Bhagavan himself for making this happen for us. And as I have told you, those of you who are interested in helping Chinmaya Mission serve mission in various ways and various opportunities that are given to you. And after Shanti Mantra, we will have the Arati and then Yajna Prasad distribution. Oh.